I'm 89 years old, and I am sitting in my own kitchen. Not because I was lucky, not because my body was stronger than other women's bodies, because I refused to let 1 hour of my day belong to someone else. And if you are honest with yourself, your day already has an hour that doesn't belong to you, the hour you stop, the hour you sit down and don't get up again, the hour your body has been waiting all afternoon to claim. For my sister Ruth, that hour was 4 p.m. She did not know it. By the time she found out, it was too late. She fell in her own kitchen at 64 and never came home. She died in a nursing home 8 years later, in a room with a window looking out onto a brick wall. A nursing home does not begin with a fall. It begins with 1 hour of one afternoon you have stopped fighting for. I have fought for 4 p.m. every single day for the last 30 years. I'm going to tell you exactly how. 4 things, 20 minutes, the same hour, the same kitchen for 30 years. The first thing I do at 4 p.m. is I stand up. I know how small that sounds. I want you to listen carefully. Your body learns. It learns whatever you teach it. And if you teach it every afternoon that 4 p.m. is the hour you sit down and stop, your body will eventually do the work of stopping for you. It will get heavier in the chair at 3:55. It will get harder to lift at 4:30. It will refuse one quiet day to lift at all. That is how it happens, not with a stroke, not with a fall, with one chair, one afternoon at a time. So at 4 p.m., I stand up, even when I don't want to, especially when I don't want to. I walk to my front door, I open it, I step outside, sometimes for 2 minutes, sometimes to the end of my driveway. The walk does not matter. What matters is the lesson my body never gets to learn. The day your body learns that 4 p.m. is the hour you disappear is the day someone else begins to plan your move. The second thing I do at 4 p.m. is I put the kettle on for tea. This is the one most people lose first. It does not start with a kettle. It starts with a daughter, a son, a grandchild, someone who loves you and shows up at 4 p.m. with a container of soap. The first time, you are grateful. The second time, you are touched. The third time, you stop reaching for the kettle because the soup is already on the counter. Within 6 months, the kettle has dust on it. Within a year, you cannot remember where you keep your own teaspoons. Within 2 years, your kitchen has stopped being yours, and you have not noticed. This is how a kitchen leaves you while you are still standing in it. I have boiled my own water at 4 p.m. every day for 30 years. The kettle is not about the tea. It is about who is still running this kitchen. A kitchen you stop running is a kitchen you have already left. The third thing I do at 4 p.m. is I make a phone call. Not a long one, sometimes 30 seconds. The point is not the conversation. The point is that I am still the kind of person who reaches. There is a moment somewhere in your 70s when you stop initiating. You stop calling first. You stop suggesting lunch. You start waiting for the phone to ring, and it rings less and less because the people who love you have learned, without anyone saying it, that you are no longer the one who reaches. You are now the one who is reached. That is when your circle begins to close. It does not close because anyone abandoned you. It closes because human beings call most often the people who call them back. The day you stop calling first is the day the world begins to call you less. I have a list on my refrigerator, 7 names. I move down the list 1 name a day. I have done this since the year my husband died. Loneliness is not a mood. It is a physical condition. It changes your blood pressure. It changes your sleep. It changes the rate at which your brain forgets the things you used to know. The afternoon call is medicine. People do not end up in nursing homes only because of illness. Sometimes they end up there because there was no one left who knew their voice. I keep mine heard, 1 call at a time. The 4th thing I do at 4 p.m. is I write 1 sentence in a notebook. 1 sentence. That is the whole exercise. Sometimes I write what I ate for lunch. Sometimes I write what the sky looked like that morning. Sometimes I write that I am tired, or that my hip aches, or that I miss my husband. Why does this matter? Because the day you stop being a witness to your own life is the day your life starts happening to someone else. It begins quietly. You forget what you did on Tuesday, then what you did this week, then what you did this month. Not because your memory is failing, because no one, including you, was paying attention. A life nobody is watching is a life that quietly disappears. The notebook is my refusal. 30 years of 1-sentence days. I do not reread them. The point is not the rereading. The point is that I lived them and I noticed I was living them. Stand up, boil water, make a call, write a sentence. 20 minutes every afternoon for 30 years. Last spring, my doctor told me, I have patients half your age in worse shape. I don't know what you are doing, but it is working. I told him about 4 p.m. He wrote it on his prescription pad. He told me he was going to give it to a patient he was worried about. You have a 4 p.m. in your life right now. You may not know what hour it is. It is the hour you are most likely to sit down and not get up. The hour your body has learned to claim. The hour your kitchen, your voice, your name on the mailbox all begin to slip from you, very quietly, while you are still alive in the chair. Find that hour and refuse it. Not when you have time, not when you are stronger. Now, today, before someone else starts deciding what your afternoons look like. A nursing home does not begin with an ambulance. It begins with the hour you stopped fighting for. I'll see you in the next one.